fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Come on, set. AT Gator.
Double dog, that's the way.
Get it.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've played well against the pass. Currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one. Because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a 1st down here. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 14th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
From the 30 on second down, Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Bishop. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Going with Armstead, a first down carry. The stop was Aaron Donald.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
We got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Dalton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Passing, it's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, bounced right back on it, keeps possession. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy Horton.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. And got his man complete. The 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 91 yards. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked.
Check, block 54, block 54. Go, tackle, let's go. We got this. Let's go.
Beginning the drive here with Armstead. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Dalton. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Second down and inches. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now a dump off here complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like that? It's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Tried to get that one to Jake Butt. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 30, the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Raquel Armstead, an 80-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Baby.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
And the pressure gets to him again. Josh Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either. And
they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. So Dalton now looking for his running back, and he's got him.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? That's complete to Robinson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. They're going to look to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves Us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Now, he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10. Just outside the 30. He finds Robinson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
10-2 stop.
Dalton, 1st and 10. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The kick by Lambeau is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touch. Down that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back.
And this will be caught at the 30. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie. Screen. Watch the screen. Get it.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. No, he stays up. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Oh, what a move. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
61, matchbox lights.
Watch twins. Watch
Big ribbon.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Looking long for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas, but it'll be 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
50, play.
53.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. From 3 yards out, and the Panthers, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I would use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety, being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, Why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And now a hook up downfield on second down. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. He was able to escape the pocket and get out of bounds. You like the decision-making?
I love the decision-making, and I love the execution because you just know that his eyes were darting all over the place. Now they talk about keeping your head on a swivel, looking for the danger spots where the hits are going to come from. How about him getting all he could out of that run and then getting out of bounds?
And he told us, look, I'm a rookie. I'm waiting for the game to slow down, but it seems like he's processing things pretty well.
He certainly is. He's slowing the game down himself with his actions. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. It's their quarterback. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. Takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? You might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Dalton. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Shaq Thompson in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Logan Cook now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get, that first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We call that sack block.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Escaping the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But somebody, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
With it is Jackson. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw here, Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Play action here with Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
Set, ready? 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie. Ready, ready?
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Carolina, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell